Hello, and welcome to episode 131 of Prog Review. And today I should be talking about Foxtrot by Genesis, because if my calculations are correct, this should roughly air October the 6th, 2012, which is the 40th anniversary of said album. There you go. So if you're not familiar with the record, go and get familiar with it, and if you are, please forgive me if you disagree with anything I say, just the way it goes. But before I start blabbering on, I'm going to hand you over to my good friend Darren, who's going to show you a couple of copies of the album, so you can see what it's like. So anyway, take it away, Darren.
Why, thank you, Darren. And here we have Genesis Foxtrot, of course, the album we're talking about. And this is the Japanese mini LP reissue from 1999. As you can see, it's very faithful to the actual original album reissue. Even the typography is the same. It's so small you can't blooming well read it, but you've got all the original photographs and inner artwork, so very, very, very faithful. I did have the LP once, but I gone and sold it a few years back when I was making room for stuff. When I mean stuff, I mean babies. As you can see, it's the famous Charisma label on the label. How many times can you say label? And Russell, jingle jangle. Now then. Let's keep it current. So boring, isn't it? What else is in? Oh, who lives in here? I forgot about these, and this is the all the Japanese bump that came with it. It's got a little obi strip. I don't know what it's all about. And then you got all this Japanese bump. I guess it's the translation of the lyrics and that, because they need to be translated into Japanese. Or Kenji. Is it Kenji? Or am I making it up? I always think of Benji. Remember Benji? Yeah, he was cute, wasn't he? Here we go. It's like opening a road map in a car. Have you ever done that? And then try to fold it back up again? It's a right pain in the arse. As you can see, look, there's a nice family tree by Pete Frame, I would imagine, telling you how all the bands cross-pollinated back in the day. And but yeah, I mean that's what you got if you were Japanese, or you bought these. Oh look, he made a right ash of that. Let me just do that off camera. That's better. And it was the whole back catalogue was released like this, and very, very, very good it was too. So you've seen that, but what you want to do is you want to see this. Yes, this was the 2007 box set, and let's compare and contrast. Oh, my lovelies. So let's have a look and see what we've got there. This is the reissue in a jewel case. Yeah, jewel case. Yes, very, very good. And as you can see, they've already fudged the art already. Yes, that's just ugly, isn't it? That reminds me of the original CD issue where they really messed the artwork up. That's the DVD that's fallen out of its spine. There you go. That's got the surround sound version and interviews with the band, which is very good. And there's some live stuff on there as well. And this is the CD/SA CD, because it's the UK box set, and that's very good too. A slightly different mix, very loud master, very, very good. Lots of extra detail. But the booklet, it's shiny, shiny, shiny. Look at it. That's not right. It should be matte. And they've fudged the artwork as well, but at least this time you can actually read the lyrics rather than sending yourself blind. Usually it's just the copious masturbation that sends you blind when you're a prog fan, but tiny typography is another cause of myopia. So as you can see, yeah, very, very good. Like I say, fudged the artwork. I think it's an abomination, but hey, what can you do? They should have done something different. And that's that really. There you go. You've got all the information there, but it just looks a bit crappy compared to the other one. I'm such a pedant when it comes to artwork, don't you? You got used to me by now. We're like an old married couple, we are. Like an old married couple. You know me all too well, you do. So anyway, that's that. Let's put it back in the box with its friends. Don't want it getting lonely. And and I'll hand you back to that bloke, Darren.
Well, thanks for doing that. That was very informative. So yeah, Foxtrot. It's it's a fine album. It's the fourth studio album by the band, released in 6th of October 1972. I shouldn't even need to say that because you should already have worked out the mathematics of it all. And it was produced by David Hitchcock, indeed, and released on Charisma Records, even with the album sleeve done by Paul Whitehead, who'd done the previous two. So it's kind of a continuation in theme. First three records, not the first three, because we include From Genesis to Revelation as in the first album or not? I don't know. I can never tell. But if you want to talk about Trespass, the other one and this one, Paul Whitehead did the three covers, for Trespass, Nursery Crime, and Foxtrot. So if you put them next together, there's a little tableau for you. So there you go. You've instantly got this very distinctive album cover, which includes lyrical elements from the album, and also a nod to Mr. Gabriel wearing the fox mask and his wife's red dress on stage. You've got that, and it's a very interesting record. It starts off with A Watcher of the Skies and those mellotron chords, those big old fat mellotron chords, and Tony Banks played those because those are the only chords you can actually play on a mellotron that don't sound naff or go out of tune. So that's why you've got these big sounds, and again, it's a very unusual way to start an album because nothing actually happens for about 2 minutes. It doesn't exactly draw you in. If the casual listener, you're going to go, well, what is this noise? But if you bear with it, everything starts up until there's this thunderous tumult of drums and bass and guitar and it's a science fiction song written by Mike Rutherford and Tony Banks when they were in Naples, I think, looking at a very deserted part of Italy and imagining what it would be like if they were an alien looking at Earth and the Earth was deserted, and I think it takes its title from a Keats poem as well. So there you go, all very literary. Those Genesis boys were clever. Their education was paid for, don't you know? Very, 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 very intelligent. And then we go on to Timetable, and I quite like Timetable. I mean, it's probably one of their least remembered songs because some of their quieter ones, we tend to overlook. We tend to go for the big ones, but I like the lyrical theme of it. The idea of people we hand our faces on, they're just borrowed, and especially if you look at old photographs, and I've been doing that a lot since my mum's death, going through the family albums, and I see my face in my ancestors' faces. So I like the lyrical idea of we're just borrowing these and we will hand them on. In the future, who knows, there might be some other poor bastard with this fizzog. Poor bastard. So I quite like that one. Then we have Get 'Em Out by Friday, which again is another science fiction work, and it's probably one of Gabriel's cleverest lyric. It owes a lot to I believe the operatic works of Gilbert and Sullivan. It's the penny opera. It's like that, but done with prog rock, and the idea is that no more space, so we shrink people to fit them. And there's references to Harlow, which was a new town at the time, and all very clever. Again, I liked it at the time. Over familiarity, it makes it that sometimes I get a bit bored with it because I much prefer Can Utility and the Coastline as the next track, which again retells the story of King Canute, dealing with his fawning subjects by saying, I'll stop the tide, knowing that he can't, and just to prove that he's human. And I really like this one, but I like the playing, the bass work on it. The last section is just they're really taking off. And I don't think I've heard a live version of that. There must be a bootleg of it out there somewhere, but I just think it sounds really, really, really powerful. It's a personal favourite of mine. And then if you got the album, we'll flip it over, and we have Horizons, which again is become a bit of a, I don't know, a bit of a bore because Steve Hackett plays it so much. It's always dusted off whenever he plays. It's kind of synonymous with Steve Hackett. It's a lovely piece based on a back cello suite, I believe. I remember being in the car and having Classic FM on, and this back cello suite coming on, and I said to Mrs. that sounds exactly like Horizons. And lo and behold, I read up on it and found out that Hackett had actually almost wholesalely ripped it off. Well, or at least paid homage to it. And let's not be unfair. And then the main feature. Oh yes, supper's ready. Oh, it's a big one, isn't it? It's soap opera. It's biblical soap opera. It's the supernatural mixed in with vaudeville, music hall, and then the end of the world revelation. All in one. You got it all there. It's very British. You can tell that these guys have been to public school by their knowledge of the Bible and their use of biblical imagery. When throughout the albums, all those singing hymns and Fear of Buggery from the Housemasters forced them to write songs like this. But yeah, Supper's Ready. I just love it. I just think it's a great roller coaster ride. It's better than all those other long ones, better than Close to the Edge and all that crap. It is just the 22-minute 58 epic that you want. It's the ultimate prog rock song because it keeps moving and it's varied, and you have the loud stuff, the fast stuff of I'll get this right in a minute. It's Igniton, Hexagon, his band of merry men. You get the loud bits there. Then you get the quiet piece of how dare I be so beautiful, which is actually based on something that Jonathan King used to say about himself all the time. Oh yeah, Jonathan King, the guy that named them, turned out he was a pedo. I think we can say that. Can we get clearance from the legal department? Can we say Jonathan King's a pedo? Yes, we can, because he was convicted, so there we go. And then we have Willow Farm, which is Bill and Ben on acid, and very vaudevillian. Then we have the whole Apocalypse in 9/8, which has been copied by prog rock bands ever since, I believe. And then we have the biblical revelation of the end of the world and everything, with as sure as eggs is eggs, aching men's feet. It's just everything. It's like I say, it's the beginning to the end of the world, all in one, all in 22 minutes 58. Sorry, 22 minutes 58. So what you can say. Interesting thing is the what we've got now is we've got two kind of versions of this, and I showed you them with my little video clip of the various versions. But before I talk about that, I'm just going to pause the camera because I'm getting to the 12-minute mark. So I don't want to be any interruptions while I explain. So just bear with me, loves. Yes, you got this version, which is the remastered version from the late 90s. I think it is. That sound about right. And this is like from the original mix. So this is good. Not as loud as the and then you get this one. And this is the 2007 version. Now what they've done with this is they've actually remixed it, and some of the elements were not present or not available. And so Tony Banks, who oversaw the mixing and mastering, has taken a few liberties here and there. And so, for example, on Supper's Ready, it goes. I've forgotten. Let me find the section because I want to get this right. Because it switches from mono to stereo. On oh god, I need my glasses. The print on this is appalling. Yeah, we've got everything. Some in, some out. It goes from mono to stereo and back again, which doesn't happen on the old version. It stays stereo the whole time. And also the bit where the voices pan, mum to mad to dad, that page to pan, it doesn't do that. It just kind of switches, so there's a few little tweaks that if you're an anal retentive like myself, you'll go ooh, but it redeems itself on the surround sound mix. The surround sound mix is absolutely phenomenal, especially like Watcher of the Skies. When that opens up on surround sound, it's like a real, kick in the solar plexus. It's real. You can imagine it. You're in it. And so yeah, the surround sound mix is pretty cool. But you do notice again on Supper's Ready, where some of the edits are. You can see the join in places, and you do notice where the mix has been, because they also use different vocal takes on Gabriel's vocals, and that happens on some of the other mixes as well. Or at least they're not treated the same way as the original mix. Some of the vocal effects weren't applied, or they couldn't recreate them. You got to remember they were recreating stuff from the 70s in 2007, and so they had a bit of a problem. So let's not be too hard on them. They had a very hard job, but there are some bits that are noticeable that you go, oh, that's a bit different, even though it might be the same. They've just not been treated the same way. So if I have a preference, I like the new version because it's loud, it's sparkly, you do pick up lots of detail, but I also like the old version. So if you're going to ask me, I'm going to be the guy in bed with the two ladies either side of him. That's where I'm going. I'm going to stick with both of them. I'm not going to choose. I'm just going to stick with both. I'm going to have my cake and eat it, if you know what I mean. And definitely try out the surround sound version. So yes, that's all rather good. But yeah, for me, Foxtrot is a special record, has a place in my heart. Again, takes me back to when I was a younger man, before the weight of the world crushed my optimistic spirit and rendered me the corpulent mess that I am at the moment. Used to have a great time playing this and singing along. Oh, nothing better than a Friday night singing along to Supper's Ready in my bedroom, belting it out. Oh, the good old days. We all did it once. No, we did. And no, I just think it's a great record. Love it to bits. And again, it's one of those albums that over the years I kind of pushed to one side because I was over familiar with it. But I listened to it again today, and I brought back all the memories. It brought it all back again. So it's a good stuff. In terms of a rating, there can only be one rating, and that's 5 Gabble Ratchets out of 5. I'd give this 10 Gabble Ratchets out of 5 if I could, but it's 5 Gabble Ratchets out of 5 because it is just a work of art, And this is what I mean when progressive rock is from a certain time. It's British, it's from a certain period, and it's very narrow. And everything that's come afterwards or done in different countries, America or Italy or wherever, it's just a pale copy of this album and this band or the other bands at the time. So that's what I mean if you hear me say that. So that's it really. I've been waxing lyrical about Foxtrot by Genesis. And thanks for sticking around. I've probably burbled on longer than ever tonight, but hey, I think it deserves it. It's a special record. That's it. Hopefully you've enjoyed it all. Hopefully you're going to leave some comments and your thoughts about the record in the comments box below. So now I bid you adieu to you and you and you, and say, prog on.